Anyway, are we starting?
What's
I don't know.
funny is that I caught that instantly. I
About
said,
that.
"Are we starting?" And that's when I unmuted. When are we starting? Answer your question, UA. No, we're not.
All right.
No? Alright.
No,
This is
no,
good
we're not.
stream, guys.
Yeah,
See you
good
later.
stream. I'm just gonna. I'll
Alright.
just load this content for nothing though. Might as well, right? Might as well be on this title screen as I end the stream. All right, guys, welcome back to stream time. Hope you guys had a lovely break. Oh, wait. I am actually alone. Wait a minute.
I was just waiting for him to come back so I could try to sit down.
Okay, for context, because I have OBS open, all Discord notifications are just muted, even though, honestly, most of them, all text messages are muted, but when it comes to, like, entering, leaving calls, that's all muted, so I didn't know that they both left.
There's a stealthy exit.
Yeah.
We're practicing for Metal Gear Solid.
Yo, if you guys are able to do with me, you'll pass. I know you will. Alright, here's the content. March 22nd, 9:47 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 3.
Adrian did it?
That's what it looks like.
Dude, no way! That woman couldn't do anything like that!
Dude.
In court today, there will be a mountain of evidence that will implicate you.
Mountain of evidence?
I'm certain there's someone out there trying very hard to pin this whole thing on you.
Please, Mr. Lawyer. Dude, like I said yesterday. I'm refreshing like a spring breeze, alright, dude? I can't let any sort of scandal ruin that.
I understand your position, but I don't really care.
Well. Wait, which one?
Mia.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's almost time.
Mia, Chief!
Alright. We must get a complete acquittal today. I swear, if we don't... I'm breaking some bones.
I know, I'm aware. But... I can't focus on Maya's situation right now.
I'm sorry?
Or Pearl's either. Chief, you and I both know, no matter what, the best way for me to help their situations is for me to focus on winning this case by the end of the day.
Yeah, you're right, indeed. Well, let's get going.
Tim! Right, speaking.
Good morning. This is it, Mr. Attorney. The day of the trial.
Maya, she better be unharmed.
Well... When I checked up on her earlier this morning, she seemed a bit, how shall I say, tired. Don't worry, people don't die that easily. Besides, what you really should be concentrating on is winning today's trial, like you just said.
He's monitoring me even as we speak.
I'm watching
For my
Solius.
sake as well as yours, you must win today's trial. Which is why... I sent you a little present this morning.
A present? What in the world would you have to give me?
Hello there, by the way.
You'll figure it out once the trial starts. Even if you don't like my gift. I expect you to graciously accept it and win the day's contest, if you please.
AUW.
Wait! So the kidnapper sent me a present, huh?
Okay, I'm sorry, I can imagine that, you know, when, the killer was saying, like, you know, repeating some of these, even though you just said that, I can imagine, because I'm watching Soliosaurus stream.
I'm aware of your every action, attorney.
Let it be known that that was the first thing I heard when I popped into this call. And I haven't been here for several streams, so I've had no idea who was saying it. And I'm like, oh god, it's gotta be the kidnapper. The killer.
is the killer.
The it killer.
Mr. Lawyer, dude? Who was that?
No one. No one at all. Nothing to do with you, so forget about it.
Wait. He knows about the killer. That's the reason why he even agreed in the first place. Why are you hiding it, right?
No reason. Who are you?
Another voice in your head.
What?
Oh, Cosmo, you're here to enjoy the show too.
Dude, did your nose just get longer? And who are you talking to?
No one.
March 26th, 10 a.m. District Courtroom number 3.
Oh yes, it is good to be back in my chair. Court is now in session for the trial of Matt and God. Are the prosecution and defense ready?
Defense is ready, Your Honor.
I say, Mr. Wright, what happened to Miss Von Karma?
I guess she doesn't want to show up for today's duel after all.
Thank
Why are you
God.
mad at me?
Your Honor!
Please be quiet, bailiff. Court is in session. If you must tell me something, please keep it brief. Now then, what is it?
Prosecutor Von Karma is... This morning, Miss Von Karma was shot by an unknown gunman!
Just as planned.
Oh, thank God! We won't be whipped today. I mean, what?
I mean, oh no, oh, she was shot. Darn.
Bummer.
I like to imagine Phoenix and the judges looking at each other, just giving each other a wink or something.
Just winking.
Like, hey.
Hey, we survived today.
Somehow, I think this is the present that man was talking about.
His present.
Well, I guess we win.
Full of them.
Yeah, I guess we win. That's it. Miss Von Karma is one of the top prosecutors in the country at the moment. If she were to appear, it would be to your advantage. So honestly, this is fine.
It's not very honorable, but... Oh, I suppose I'll graciously accept this gift.
You should probably just pretend to care about
Miss
it.
Von Karma, she's all right, right?
Yeah,
Right?
I don't have that answer.
Oh.
She's alive and in stable condition.
That's good. Whew.
Oh. You.
Wait, you.
Your Honor, due to the circumstances, Miss Franziska Von Karma cannot appear in court today.
I have no idea why my mind just reversed that, being like, Miss Von Karma Franziska. Oh.
I and Miles Edgeworth will be taking her place. The prosecution is ready, naturally.
Why are you standing at the witness stand then? No, thank you.
Miss Von Karma was shot in her right shoulder and is currently undergoing surgery. Luckily, I have looked this case over and am familiar with the details. The prosecution seeks to prove the guilt of Mr. Matt on guard.
The court acknowledges the prosecution.
Right. I finally found the answer I was struggling for on my long journey this past year. By the time this case comes to an end, you too will know the answer.
Edgeworth.
God, he's so cool.
Now then, the prosecution would like to call its first witness. Please bring Detective Gumshoe to the witness stand. Witness, your name and occupation. Who's taking him?
Not me.
I'll do it.
Go ahead.
Name's Dick Gumshoe, sir. A detective down at the precinct. For now.
Ow.
After this trial's over, I'm supposed to turn in my badge, sir. Detective Gumshoe.
He didn't win the war.
The prosecution has no need for a depressed witness.
Jesus.
God, he's so cool.
Lift your head up and face forward like a proud officer, Detective Dick Gumshoe.
Yes, sir.
Now, let's have your testimony. If we want to explore the various facets of this case, we must start with that.
Get ready, Phoenix. This is going to be one very rough fight.
Yeah. And I wouldn't have it any other way.
I gotta remember the steer coping mechanism.
The answer he was struggling for. How interesting. I look forward to seeing this answer of yours, Edgeworth.
Okay, why is this whole, like, thought process kind of fit the dual aspect of Phoenix right now? Like, come on.
The game knows what I'm doing. It knows where I'm at.
Bare facts of the case. And I'm there.
Alright, so this murder happened after the Hero of Heroes Awards ceremony, sir. The victim, Jimbo Neutron, he was found dead in his hotel room. After looking into the cause of death, we believe he was definitely murdered, sir. Definitely. At first, we thought there was something suspicious about the empty guitar case. However, we later found out the guitar case had nothing to do with the murder, sir.
This is a good. I mean, after the award ceremony ended, the victim was alone in his room?
Yes, sir. Both the victim and the defendant, they went alone to their rooms, sir.
I see. Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination.
Yo. Let's go. Let's try to remember everything in this testimony. Woo!
Woo!
A victim dead in a hotel, looking into the cause of death.
Testimony.
Minded.
Guitar case. Fine, guitar case, nothing. Hold it! Now, what convinced you it had nothing to do with the case, Detective? That's easy, pal. The guitar wasn't at the Gatewood Hotel that night.
Oh, yes, there's a good switch. I mean, well then, where is it? No.
Oh man, I'm so hungry, pal. The bright red guitar was eventually found at the TV studio. The victim, Jim Neutron, had apparently only taken the case with him, sir.
So you mean he forgot to put the guitar inside the case?
Oh, that's about right, sir. Even when he was on stage for the ceremony, he didn't have his guitar. So that guitar case was empty even before he got to the hotel. Yeah, that's right. So it really had nothing to do with the case after all.
Our first order of business should be to gather more info from his testimony. I don't know why the player just skipped all over it and just decided to do the last one like an idiot, but whatever.
You have a point, though there might be a trap somewhere here.
Maybe. However, setting off traps is a part of a lawyer's job too.
I couldn't agree more, Chief.
Of course. I mean, it's fun. So just escape from it. Don't have a skill issue, right? Don't have a skill issue, Phoenix. You better not have a skill issue.
Insulting themselves via a video game character. What an idiot talking about himself.
The person who discovered the victim's body was Adrian Andrews, correct? Yeah.
Who is this Adrian Andrews you're talking about?
It's a woman, Your Honor. That's all you need to know.
Please mind my eating. I haven't had lunch today yet.
All right. Hey, right. Can you get your dead boss to simmer down over there? No. Alright, well, I guess I'll screw myself though. She's the defendant. She's the defendant, Matt Ongod's manager. And she's a pretty lady, sir.
Ah, so she's a pretty lady. I wonder if she will grace us with her presence.
And when the post-ceremony show was about to start, she went to go get Mr. Angard. After visiting his room, she next went to the victim's room to get him for the show, sir.
I see, and that's when she found the victim's body. What a loser!
Hold it.
The cause of death. Wasn't that because Mr. Jimbo was stabbed in the chest? Only a careless amateur would believe something so brainless as that, pal. Take a good hard look, you brainless idiot. Look at this crime photo. Now, a real pro's attention will be drawn here to this bandana.
Banana. No, sorry, I'm thinking food. I'm going.
Oh man, now I'm thinking of food. Oh, I wish I had a banana. But what I mean is his bandana, sir. And it's the thing wrapped tightly around his neck, sir.
Ah, yes, I see. His banana-scented bandana. Yeah.
Why?
What about the knife, detective? It seems to have been stuck in the victim's chest on purpose after his death.
Stop thinking of the K-Swung banana glove. Don't move into the vent.
I'm sorry. We have a crafty murderer on our hands here.
Like that, just like he's like stroking his beard, like, yes, a crafty murder indeed. Now, where are those bananas you mentioned?
Autopsy report added to the court.
Did you just look up at the desk and the judge has an entire fast food combo meal? He's chowing down.
He's just eating a Chick-fil-A combo.
What? I'm hungry. It's been a long day.
Never let me eat in the courtroom.
My courtroom? No.
And why did you think that, detective? Because it was empty, pal. The Jammin' Ninja don't go nowhere without his bright red guitar. We couldn't find it anywhere at the scene of the crime.
No, then how about this theory? A fan really wanted a guitar and did the crime to get it. How's that?
Oh man, that actually sounds pretty good. Oh, we
I
already
mean-
thought of it though.
No. Damn.
Sorry, pal. Go on. Well, only fingerprints on the guitar case were the victims. Only the victims, huh?
I see. So much for my theory then.
Guitar case updated in the court record.
I believe that's enough. First, the victim was choked to death with his bandana. Then, after the victim was dead, the killer deliberately stabbed him with a knife. Which brings me to my next point. Why then did the police arrest Matt on guard? Because there was a reason enough to suspect him.
Was it because he was on guard? Sorry, bad joke.
Show me just how sharp your blade is, Edgeworth. Let's see this reason.
Very well. Detective Gumshoe, please testify about this matter.
Okay, pal.
Why arrest on guard?
So, hear me out. We really didn't like the look of him. They each thought the other guy was in his way, and that was pretty motive enough. Also, we didn't like the look of him. Now, as for evidence, he really looked shifty. Oh yeah, and a button was ripped off the ninja costume, and was found in his hakama. Like I said, shifty character, pal. Defendant's fingerprints also happened to be all over the knife. But all this just fed our suspicions, pal. And we really just didn't like how he looked.
Can you imagine if there was a case that was just based on the foundation of Gumshoe said, he looks like a murderer. Just look at him. He just looks like a filthy murderer because he's a stupid, filthy murderer.
He's like pointing at him every time he says stupid. He's like, a stupid,
Look at him. He's just
filthy
suspicious.
murderer.
Ew, disgusting. That's a murderer.
And he's just an ice cream man in his full costume. Anyways.
It's just like the proto-badger or something. He's like,
Look at this guy, he's a murderer.
So the defendant's fingerprints were found on the knife used in the stabbing. Well, that's all I need. Guilty.
Yeah, it was sort of a sticky on the handle, Bell, so the fingerprints came out pretty clearly.
Knife added to the court record.
And then there was the button.
Oh, it's found in the defendant's clothes, was it? And is this button also covered in blood? Or is that marinara sauce?
A bit of both, Your Honor. Made the testing a little bit hard, but we did identify the victim's blood eventually, sir.
Can I taste it?
Only lick the edge of it, sir.
Detective?
Yes, sorry. No, you may not taste it, sir.
Damn.
Just because you're being fired at the end of the day does not give you full free reign to do whatever you want.
I'm sorry, sir. Yes, though, sir. Oh, yes, I have my reaction on it. What?
I'm a Peach being like, what to all of these fronts? Gem and Ninja's button added to the court record. With like, where is it? Hold on. It is covered in Corda's blood and marinara sauce.
and a bit of marinara.
All this points very clearly to the defendant, doesn't it? It's a good burger.
Yes, it most certainly does, Your Honor. Ready to give in yet, right?
I'll find the hole in your argument, Edgeworth.
Oh!
You're still doing that voice even in court.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Do you know how juvenile you sound?
This is 15 times better since I have absolutely no context to this.
Well, whatever.
Edgeworth,
Continue on.
just
Continue
let me do my
on.
job.
I was being your ally before, but now I am your opponent. Continue doing what you will.
Yeah, this is random coping mechanism. I don't even understand it, but whatever.
Detective! On guard, we duel now! Forget them! Okay, sir. Whatever you say, Bella. Honestly, your looks kinda used to scare me, but I'm gonna be real, I'm with it, Miss Edgeworth on this one. You gotta be in juvenile, pal.
I don't know why. I just imagine, like, if I edit this, I'll just edit this to be where it's like, he looked real shifty. He looked real shifty. He looked really sus. He looked really suspicious. He looked like a murderer. Just that.
My sources. Purple was kinda sus.
Can't wait until I see the compilation video of every moment the judge was called eating in court.
I like to imagine you bass boost the moment you're eating, just so you're. You just hear very loud chewing in the background.
Are you eating? No. What do you mean? I ain't eating.
He says no while he's like munching his spicy chicken from
very
Chick-fil-A.
clearly in his hand.
Yeah. Okay, got it. Red was sus.
Red was pretty sus, pal. Wasn't doing his tasks. Was sleeping on the job.
Very clearly in his hand. It's like, Your Honor, you're holding it right there. This is evidence. I'm just
Your Honor, you're eating the evidence.
I'm carefully examining the evidence with my mouth.
Didn't you hear? Taste is one of the senses, and we use those to identify things.
I have a feeling.
Hold it. There's no way this was a premeditated murder, even if he bought the knife. Sorry, pal. This isn't just some pocket knife. It doesn't fold, so it's not great for walking around with either.
Oh, I remember this. I remember the contradiction here.
No, not good. If the prosecution can prove it was a premeditated murder, then the case is done for.
Phoenix. There's something very interesting about what the detective said just now. Think.
Do not worry, I remember the contradiction if you get stuck.
Ah.
And be grateful that I'm helping you. And before, wait, hold up, wait, is this not the, I thought we were at the, oh, okay, I guess there's another one, alright, before any battle, find enemy weakness, find the weakness. Oh! Reset jump scare.
So Matt Ungod and Jimbo, right?
I'm pretty sure
Ungod was pretty sus.
Would you like me to tell you the contradiction?
Hold on. So like,
Hey, Your Honor,
I know
let
there
him
was
figure it out.
food in the room. It's something along those lines. I don't remember.
Here's a hint. The evidence is the knife.
Gatewater. We brought the knife for the crime. We
Objection.
thank you.
Now wait just 1 second, detective. Alright, pal. What do you want this time? So the basis of your argument that this was a premeditated murder is simply that my client bought a knife beforehand.
Aw. And look very shady.
Yeah, we also didn't like the look of him, pal. My client did not buy this knife, detective. What? Take a good look at the handle of this knife and you'll see what I'm talking about. Hey, pal, I'm illiterate.
It has a gatewater seal on this. It has a gatewater seal set onto the handle.
Thank you, Your Honor. Wait, what? Gatewater? I think I heard that name somewhere before. Oh, it's hurting my voice. That's the name of the hotel. The Gatewater Hotel.
Detective, I'm cutting your unemployment.
Mr. Edwards, I don't think you can legally do that.
Mr. Edward, please, The murder knife was actually property of hotel, detective.
I don't know why, but I feel like when the judge said, Edward, I don't think you can legally do that, and Edward's like, I'm a prosecutor. I can honestly make anything happen. As long as there's no lawyer in front of me.
There's a way, Your Honor.
Excuse me while I rewrite the Constitution of Japanifornia.
Right in front of everyone's eyes.
Your Honor, if Miss Von Karma can whip the judge, then I can cut this man's unemployment.
You know what? Fair enough.
Every prosecutor needs a weapon, apparently.
Yeah, and you have a knife. Had a knife. Well, that's an old story.
But you have a knife that is also a key to a safe.
What?
That's jumping way ahead, mate.
Hey, you knew what I was talking about. That's all I needed.
Oh, thank God I have water next to me.
Woo!
By the way, I read this line.
Oh, sorry.
Excuse me a second.
So, right, you just randomly decided to point. Do you have anything to say?
I like to imagine Phoenix just pointing in the other hand's a water bottle.
Which means this murder was not premeditated.
Yes, that is very true. This is a very big...
What's so funny?
Look at the emotionless laugh.
What is it, Mr. Edgeworth?
I'm sorry, but the defense is simply too careless.
Go on, I'm listening.
I think whether the crime was premeditated or not has already been determined.
Oh, you know what? How so? I'll humor you. Okay.
I admit this knife is hotel property. There is no one currently on the police force that is dumb enough to not realize this.
Not the man on the stand.
But I didn't.
Poor guy.
The question is, where did this knife come from?
What? That's obvious. It came from the victim, Mr. Corey. How do you say this guy's name?
Neutron.
Neutron.
Okay, Jimmy Neutron's room. Yeah, I'm getting different documentation here, but we're just gonna go with it.
Sorry, Your Honor, but that is incorrect.
Oh, is it Jimbo then? What is so funny? What am I missing here?
The victim ate a last meal before he was murdered. With that being the case...
Wait, I could just imagine the judge has no idea this guy is named Jimmy Neutron because on like the court record, it says Juan Corrida, but like everybody during the investigation just simultaneously agreed, okay, this is Jimmy Neutron, and then the judge is the only one that didn't get that news, so he'll see this Juan Corrida.
I quite literally have signed, sealed, legitimate documents that said this man is Juan Corrida. What is going on here?
And y'all over here saying Jimmy Neutron.
I would like to draw the court's attention to what's on top of the table.
Ketchup?
No, not that. That's tomato juice anyway.
Oh.
I mean, ketchup can be from tomato juice if you tried really hard enough.
I'd be a hot dating ketchup.
Your Honor, you're lying. Read the script.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. I thought it was someone else. Sorry. There was a knife and fork on the table. Oh, goodness. There's also a teacup there. Then, where in the world did this knife come from?
If it pleases the court, I would like for us to recall the room of the defendant, Mr. Matangard.
Alright.
Especially what was on top of his table. There is something missing. Perhaps there's a single knife?
No, it's a bone missing.
We investigated the leftover dishes for fingerprints, and while we were investigating, we came to the conclusion that Mr. Matangard's knife was missing. Mr. Angard had gone to the victim's room with the knife he used during dinner. Why would he carry a knife on a visit? To kill, of course. And with that, I believe the prosecution has proven this was a premeditated murder.
Amazing, Mr. Edgeworth. Absolutely brilliant. A brilliantly clear deduction. Unlike that idiot over on the defense table.
Well, it seems like Edgeworth had this planned from the very beginning.
Your Honor, while I respect your authority...
I have a gavel.
Fair enough.
Fingerprints that I buttoned for the victim's costume. I have a gavel. Fair enough. Gavel.
Moment Phoenix tried to intimidate the judge like he did everyone else in the previous streams. I have a gavel, Mr. Wright. Okay.
I will not be intimidated by the likes of you, Blue Man. I've already read my line.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was dying.
There is quite a sizable amount of evidence here.
I can safely say that any further deliberation is a waste of your Honor's time. Although, I wouldn't mind if the defense were to present evidence not yet shown to the court.
What does that mean?
Shown.
He means evidence that the court hasn't seen yet. In other words, new evidence that you found in your court record. Duh.
What does the defense have to say about this, Mr. Wright?
Phoenix, use your words. The judge is favoring the prosecution right now. And if we answer with something wrong here...
I'll end this trial, that's what.
Then he'll use the gavel, which he just threatened me with. Yada yada blah blah. Okay.
And Maya
Mr.
dies.
Wright,
And
I
someone
have a
else
gavel.
dies.
Mr. Wright, I have a gavel. Yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oops.
Okay, not even hiding it.
Oops,
You
my
said
like,
oops
slipped.
before you even
No.
selected it.
Unbelievable. 9 is game throwing. 9 is throwing the game.
Nah, I'm pretty sure it's a trap, guys. I'm pretty
Everyone
sure it's
report
a
9.
Trap. Better if I don't say anything to risk throwing out a bad piece of evidence.
Alright then, it looks like the defense is being stupid again. You big stupid person.
Which means
Yeah,
this
I know he was
court
brainless.
is adjourned.
Phoenix! We will lose this case if you give up here. So you
I
better
didn't
show
pick
the
the
judge
option.
something quick!
I didn't pick the option.
Then who did?
Not me.
Okay!
Oh, this court finds the defendant.
Not yet. There is one.
Ellipsis.
One piece of evidence that catches my attention, Your Honor. And I'm sure it'll catch your attention as well.
Mr. Wright, I have a gavel. I will say this even one more time. I have a gavel. However, I'm giving you one chance and only one chance.
I thought you were
Remember,
however, I am
also
giving you
indeed do
the
have a
gavel.
gavel.
What the judge is saying, right, is that he has a gavel.
If I mess this up, I won't have a gavel.
I get the
Okay, now
gavel.
present one and only one piece of evidence.
Okay.
Now then, what is this important evidence that you must show to the court? And remember, you actually have one choice. Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Please tell me she saved prior
I
to this.
did!
Okay, thank God.
Int.
Sorry, Wright, but
Did
this time
not,
your
oh my
bluffing
goodness.
steered you wrong.
But Miles, it's my attorney's
I can see
badge.
nothing strange about this piece of evidence.
Oh, wait. Hang on.
I am a man of my word. I have a gavel. You have been gavelled. That's it. Everyone get out.
Ow.
This is the time for the player to reload their save.
What if I don't want to?
Well, then that's enough.
Alright.
My God, I think she alt F4 the game.
Nine is sabotaging her own stream.
She absolutely alt F4 there. Oh, Jesus.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Anyways, to answer your concerns, everybody, yes, I did save before.
Good. I was actually very terrified there for a moment. Nine had to get that one meme that where it's just like, very important. You only have one chance. Attorney's badge. This will save me. This is exactly the correct answer to this situation. Wait,
Of course.
There is one piece of evidence, Your Honor.
Getting a sense of deja vu here.
Me too.
All I have to say is remember, I have a gavel. And I swear to God, if you present your badge, I'm going to kill you. Don't do it.
How did he know I was going to present my badge?
The killer's radio. No, don't tell me, guys.
crap.
Don't tell me. Don't tell me.
I actually kind of forgot here. I actually think I might know what it is, but...
Given this is one of the very few instances of an unlimited penalty in the series, I know the evidence.
Forgot that this was an unlimited
Woo! I did it.
penalty. There's a wine glass, is it not?
Look at the photo of the crime scene one more time. The scene is a mess because of the victim's struggle against his assailant. The vase was broken, his makeup is all over the floor. These were all things that were at one point sitting on top of the dresser.
Well, yes, I see your point.
However, this glass that is sitting on top of the dresser is mysteriously untouched. The only thing that had not fallen over along with everything else is this wine glass. Ergo, this piece of evidence is more than strange enough to warrant further consideration. What do you have to say to that, Your Honor?
Well, yes, I have a gavel. Sorry, it is a bit particular.
Yes, you do have a gavel.
You can stop looking at me with those puppy dog eyes of yours now. Mr. Edgeworth?
What is it, Your Honor?
Your opinion.
You don't need my opinion. Because there is no special meaning to that glass.
And what makes you so sure?
It's safe to say that... Excuse me, my screen share just bugged up. It's safe to say that the glass was set there after the crime took place. By the person who discovered the body, Adrian Andrews, for example. She could have easily been so shocked that she set the glass down without thinking.
Yeah, that sounds very plausible, Mr. Wright.
Could Miss Andrews really have set that glass down without thinking? Well, if I say yes, then we're sunk, so I better say no. If I appear weak here, the trial's over. I can look for my proof later. For now, I should trust my instinct and point with certainty.
AKA bluff. Bluff your pants off.
And I just might fall for it because they are stupid. So, unless, you know, you just have to be thought-provoking enough. Trademark.
The defense would like to have a chance to be thought-provoking. I mean, I would like to challenge the prosecution's theory. We would like to see something that proves it was Miss Andrews who set the cup on the table.
You've turned the situation on its head yet again, as usual. Mr. Edgeworth, do you have any proof to back up your claim?
There's no way.
I have a feeling he has some.
I'm a bluffer. I know bluffers when I see one.
Unlike Mr. Wright, I never say anything unless I have the evidence to support it.
He has something.
You're not thinking hard enough today, Wright.
And we're not in my
All
games
that
yet.
brain power is going to your very edgy edgelord self. Did you think this wine glass escaped my notice?
Kinda.
Of course it has been thoroughly inspected for fingerprints.
Fingerprints.
There were only one set of fingerprints left on this wine glass.
Only one? Well, out with it, man. Whose were they?
They were not the victims nor the defendants. Rather, they were of one Adrian Andrews.
Wine glass updated in the court record.
My God, that must mean she's the killer. We should have her put on the stand instantly.
That is why I said that the person who discovered the body had left it there.
No.
Are we done here, Mr. Wright?
Can't believe I fell right into another trap.
Miss Andrews was probably holding the glass when she went to see Mr. Neutron. But upon seeing his dead body, she was stunned and set the glass down on the dresser.
I must inspect this dead body.
Yes, what you said just makes a lot of sense. Yep.
Now, do you see, Mr. Wright? You can't change any part of my scenario as it explains everything all too well.
Oh, really?
I thought long and hard this past year about what it means to be a prosecutor. And from here on out, I will show you the answer I've come to discover.
Wait a second. Mr. Redwood. I think the prosecution has provided enough evidence for me to enter my verdict.
Unfortunately, I cannot allow you to pass judgments just yet. The prosecution is yet another witness we would like to hear the court to hear from.
Another witness.
Yes. Bailiff! Please bring in the next witness.
What in the world is Mr. Edgeworth thinking? Does he not care for winning anymore? Because that'd be pretty based.
God.
So you show your true colors, Edgeworth. I see now. You too want us to settle things until the last man drops. Very well, I'll accept your challenge for this duel. Glad to see you finally coming around to my way of thinking.
Moving on. Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation.
He's just like, okay.
Okay,
Honestly,
moving on.
this
Whatever.
is going to be a fantastic scene.
Witness, your name and occupation, please. Gotcha!
I don't think I want this duel anymore.
Oh, Reggie boy! It's been, what, a year since we last met, hasn't it? You should be more happy to see me! I saw the report with her testimony, but who knew that under that helmet? It was the Wicked Witch of the witness stand!
Wait, you didn't even know she was under that helmet? Wow.
I tell you, this time I know what I'm supposed to do. So today I'm gonna tell you anything and everything. Even things I don't have to do with that terrible crime.
God help us all. God help us all. Miss Witness. Oh, go, oof!
Shush! I'm talking to my dear Edgy Wedgie right now! Don't interrupt us, Gramps!
Yes, madam.
No, please, by all means, interrupt her, please!
I think you fight your duels on your own.
Anyway, witness, your testimony, please. It's true what they say that youths are hot-headed nowadays. Not that I mind at all, Edgy. Nobody knows.
No one knows. That's the most horrifying thing about this entire franchise. No one knows this woman's age.
Now then, what should I start with?
I feel like it'd be so funny if she does show up in like Ace Attorney 6. But she looks no different.
Ace
Oh
37.
my god.
7.
That'd be hilarious. Oh my god.
The witness was on security detail at the hotel on the night of the murder. Is this correct, Miss Oldbag? It was a great job being able to see my dearie Jimbo. It was almost too much for my little heart to handle.
You mean you were a fan of the victim?
Look, everyone is crazy over that on guard, saying he's cute in a fresh way or something. But not me. I wouldn't say anything so silly.
Fresh
After
way.
all, I have no interest in a little child like him. I'm only interested in a real man, Jimmy Neutron.
Pardon me, but you're literally crushing on the prosecutor over there.
So how old
What?
is Neutron in this
I'm polyamorous.
You what? Polly what? We talking about shapes?
Wait, what?
This is one duel I do not look forward to.
Anyway, as I was saying, I was pacing in front of his room that night. Very well. Please tell the court what you witnessed on the night of the murder and make it quick. Leave it to me, Edgy Boo.
What you witnessed, and please
Mr. Edgeworth,
hurry up.
What have you done to us today, Mr. Edgeworth? What have you done to my courtroom?
This is not my fault.
You brought her in here, Mr. Edgeworth.
Anyway, after the ceremony, I went to pace around the hallway in front of his room. There was something I was interested in finding out, you know? Well, since I was on the job, I made sure to keep a good eye out the whole time. That's when someone showed up. It was a man coming out of poor Jimmy's room. It was on guard, not on guard. He was trying to sneak his way out of Juan's room. His room, Jimbo's room.
So Mr. On Guard came out from the victim's room.
See? It has to be him. He's the murderer.
I see. Well, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination, and for the love of God, don't make her mad. God help us.
Maybe this is the moment where both Edgeworth and the judge wished for Franziska to be in the courtroom. Just saying.
This is literally karma for like both the judge and Phoenix and Mia being like, oh, thank God she's not here.
I should have hired that head on her.
Tie out. That's when someone showed up and put the back coming at the put in his room. It was on guard, back on guard. He was trying to stick to the. I'll just do this one. Because the other four statements are.
Now, who in the world might that have been?
I'm not allowed to say.
Of course.
This sort of information has to be carefully guarded from the masses, Sonny. The man that came out of Jimbo's room, he was... I'm too scared. I can't say his name out loud.
Oh, what I wouldn't give to have Franziska's lip right about now.
Wow.
I called it.
We need to stop telling stuff. My God.
Well, I guess I could tell you since he was such a bad boy anyway.
Hold it. So you saw my client, are you absolutely sure?
Yesy!
Really?
Annoying brat! When I say I saw someone, I saw that person!
Oh, okay. To avoid a repeat of last year, can you tell me what the person was wearing? Tell the court about the man's clothes.
What a troublesome man you are, really, as if something like that matters.
It kinda does.
Now, what was it? Oh yes, it was that thing.
Thing?
That gaudy thing he's always wearing, that racing jacket.
Oh, he's wearing that at the detention center too.
That thing's meant for nothing but seducing women out of their pantaloons. Men.
Right.
So, Mr. Wright, was your testimony just now important or relevant in any way? I'm eating here, so answer quickly.
Wasn't Ungard dressed in his attire? You know, the samurai attire.
Oh, thank you.
I'm trying to remember. You know what?
Well, I mean, they said they found the button in his hakama, and the hakama was part of his outfit, so he was in his outfit then.
Samurai pants.
Yeah.
You know, that's one thing that I don't remember throughout this. Oh God. That I don't remember throughout this entire case. I don't remember if they ever explained that button or not. You probably remember a lot more. Do they ever explain that? Because I swear to God, they never did.
I forget if they explain it like explicitly, but they did make a point that there is too much evidence against Matt on guard.
What was the man you saw carrying?
In which hand? His right or left? Now this is a real mess. I mean, I can't be expected to answer such a vague question.
Indeed. Please be more specific with your question, Mr. Wright.
Sorry, Your Honor. What was the man you saw carrying in his right hand?
He wasn't carrying anything in that hand.
Then how about his left?
Empty.
Well, this whole thing's been a lot of nothing. Alright. You know what? 9, just go with my thing. You know what? You have a penalty bar. Let's do it.
Wait. What's the other one? Wait, what about the face?
Close. No, do close. Trust me, do close. I feel like I'm correct. Just do close. I'm the attorney here.
Okay, you're the attorney. You know what? You're right. You're the attorney. You are the attorney. He's wearing this.
It's so important. It's very important, Your Honor.
Objection! The Popsy would like to point out what part of that testimony was so important.
Don't you see it, Edgeworth?
No.
I can see your blade is dull, then. Your Honor, I request what the witness said about the jacket be appended to our testimony.
I don't quite see where you're going with this, but alright. Witness, please.
Oh, well, I don't like to badmouth anyone without reason, but if I must... He was wearing his flashy racing jacket. Honestly, it's all just for show.
The button. Miss Oldbag.
There you go, YG. I guess that's the answer to your question.
No, it actually popped in my head what the explanation for the button was. I actually do remember what it was now. Sorry, go on. It's something we found out way later.
Don't say my name for no reason!
Do you know what this is?
It's spot number 2 on the Japanese costume!
Oh, now I know she's an obsessed fan. She identified it in a single glance.
Give it here! Give it here! If you don't give it to me, I'll push you with this!
Wow. She really expects to win this duel with that flimsy gun? I'll show her what a real gun looks like. I don't have a soundboard, dang it. Thank you. This button was discovered on Mr. Ungard's body during a full body search.
See? See? This button proves beyond a shadow of a doubt it was that rascal on guard!
It was caught up in the pleats of his Nickel Samurai Hakama pants.
See? See? And on guard is a Nickel Samurai!
Witness. Now, it may just be me, and I do have quite the imagination. But just now, didn't you say that the defendant, Matt Ungard, was wearing his usual racing jacket?
I'm so sorry. Sorry, I can judge people based on what they wear! If I were the 20th stretch,
Greatest opportunity. It's why I'm not taking what's stuck in my chest. Let me tell you, it's heavy. So heavy. I wish you 60 days long up. I'm giving that dream of life all the time. We're gonna smile and don't understand. Now take a look in the mirror. Your clothes are as interesting as a documentary on curl. You're taking different angle. He's got style. There you go.
Oh God! Shut up, woman! Shut up on that stand! Shut up! Just shut up! Thank you.
I should go to church. I can speak in tongues.
Yes, indeed, yes. No.
Jesus Christ, UA.
Both of them went absolutely mental. I have no idea why Solia jumped in on that as well. I have absolutely no idea why Solia was the backtrack.
I'm sorry. I I just wanted to help. All right, fine. I won't do it anymore.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Celia actually reading it, and Yue just, God knows what he's doing. I have absolutely
He's
no
speaking
idea
the language of the Elder Gods.
Man was speaking like Bohemian. I have no idea. Like,
I just gave up trying to,
sorry,
trying to read
Bohemian.
it.
My bad. Sorry. Anyways,
Saibancho.
What an odd franchise this is.
Oh, we lost.
Saibancho.
It's not
Please
Mr.
judge.
On God, the man.
I've already read it. I've already read it.
Oh, we didn't hear it.
Oh, hold on. Lag. Oh God. Major lag. But Mr. On Guard, the Nickel Samurai.
But when you think about it, they're really one and the same anyway. That sounds like a mistranslation.
That absolutely does
Old
sound
bag.
like it.
This is a very important point we're talking about.
Edgy Boo, do you think so too? Well, it might be something worth considering.
I'll just say it's important and agree with me for a change.
Witness, think carefully and try to remember as much as you can before you testify, or I swear to God, I have a gavel.
All right, if you insist. Hello, Fresh Sans Cool XD lol.
I should be the one sighing, not you.
Who I saw.
On God, yes, now I remember! The Nickel Samurai, that's right! It was a Nickel Samurai that I saw! Yes, it would have been convenient for him to wear the costume during the murder. He had to go to that post-ceremony stage show right after the crime, you know? So he must have worn that Nickel Samurai costume when he was stabbing poor Jimbo.
I knew it. I knew you'd say he was inside that costume.
What? Did you think there could have been someone else inside that costume, like the previous game? Don't be such a bad little boy thinking such rude things.
The possibility does exist.
Ah, youngins today, I told you, there's no way it was anyone else.
What? How do you know that?
Because I said so, and what I say is the truth.
What?
If what you say is the truth, oh dear Lord, we're all screwed.
Mr. Wright, get on with it. For the love of God, I'm getting sick of this witness.
I was trying to think of something, but I was just like, I forgot she said that. I was very flabbergasted myself. I'm like, she really just said that. She's actually one of those people.
I know this is the contradiction because blood splattering.
How do you leave fingerprints on it anyways?
True. That's true.
Take one look at this.
Yeah, so it's a knife, big deal. If you're trying to scare me with that, I'll have you know it won't work.
I can imagine Phoenix just goes up to her, stabs her. She flops, looks at the courtroom, and be like, "All right, can we all agree that like we're all cool with this? Like, actually."
I got armor.
Took your helmet off. I stabbed you in the throat. Jesus.
I said my line.
You're dead. You're dead. Flop. I killed you.
And no one will punish me because no one wants to.
I'm a hero to this courtroom now. No, that's not my intention quite yet.
That's the knife that was used in the murder, correct?
And it's about to be used for a second one, but that's besides the point.
Mr.
Your Honor,
Wright, I have a gavel. Watch what you say.
Your Honor, will you really be mad if I use this to commit a murder on Miss Oldbag?
Mr. Wright, as much as I would really love to see that, I'm a man of the law. So yes, I'd be extremely angry.
Well, sometimes sacrifices have to be made, but that's besides the point. Your Honor, do you know why this piece of evidence is important to this case?
Because it's gold? I mean, you don't even have to ask. It's because the defendant's fingerprints are on it.
Is that what you're driving at?
That's exactly what I'm driving at, Edgeworth.
What are we driving at, and whose car are we driving?
If Mr. Ungard was really in the Nickel Samurai costume at the time of the murder, then it's impossible for his fingerprints to have been left on this knife. Actually, he would have wiped all previous fingerprints on this knife right off.
Oh, that's right. The Nickel Samurai wears gloves, doesn't he?
Objection! He probably took his gloves off before he began the stabbing.
Objection! And why would he do something like that? To leave his prints on the murder weapon? There's no way he would do something like that.
However, there is one possibility.
Then let's hear your possibility.
It's very simple. The defendant went to the victim's room while in costume as a Nickel Samurai. At the time, the defendant held no intent to murder. He was probably just going to relax and talk with the victim about the stage show. Which is why he took his gloves off.
But the murder still did take place.
It's well known that there was bad blood between the defendant and the victim.
Yes, I have heard about that before. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say about this stupid theory?
Let me get this straight. Edgeworth's theory goes as so. When the defendant went to the victim's room, he had no intention of killing him. Suppose then that you are dropping the premeditated charge?
Ooh. You know, actually, I don't know why Phoenix hasn't ever said that. Because
Yeah,
that's exactly
honestly?
what he's implying. He's like, he had no intent to murder. It was like 20 months ago you said this was a premeditated murder.
Honestly, I wish Phoenix said that. Well, I wish he was a little bit more intelligent.
That is actually just such a good comment, being like, oh, he had no intent to murder, so no more premeditated murder?
Think about
Edgeworth?
it one more
Cool.
time. Yeah, think about it one more time. We gotta have a detailed thought about this.
I think I need a little more time on this one. So let me get this straight. Theory goes as such. Yada yada, victim, defendant, no intent to murder.
That is absolutely an odd choice. Oh God, we're gonna keep doing this, are we?
Yes, victim. Murder. Premeditated.
That's right, you've been thinking a long time there. Do you have an answer?
Your Honor, it is impolite to interrupt a man's thinking in his moment of repose.
That's right, you've been standing there for 15 minutes.
Your Honor, you are seated, you are comfortable, and you are eating a combo meal.
That's
You can
right, I
stand to
have a
wait 2 more
gavel.
minutes. Noted, Your Honor. This attorney doesn't care.
No, it should be noted. Think.
Bailiff, shoot this man.
Noted. 1 second, please. He like holds his finger up to the man's like, hang on, I need to finish his thought process.
The bailiff is slowly removing his gun from his holster as we speak.
The prosecution calls for a verdict.
All right then. This court finds the defendant.
Objection.
Matt
1 moment. I need to think about it for a second.
Objection overruled.
I overrule your overruling, Your Honor. No, anyways, where was I?
I hate this place.
Oh, yeah.
I will have your badge.
Oh, sure. It's made of cardboard. Here you go.
What?
So anyways. Oh, yes. I've been fooling you all for several games now.
Now let me think about this.
Sorry, wrong. You're a game ahead. Or behind, sorry. Or is it head? Yeah,
How do you think he got the idea for it? He certainly wasn't smart enough to come up with it all by himself.
No, you can't do that, no.
I have come to a conclusion.
You're stupid?
Your Honor, you are a game ahead for that one.
Well, is it a yes or no?
So this theory, it contradicts something in an earlier testimony.
He doesn't even answer.
What are you babbling about?
We're dropping the premeditated charge, right, Edgeworth?
Hits it with him very casually.
Interesting.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, since we are not to bring it up, I do believe, I dare say, it was impossible for the killer to have gone to the victim's room without intent. Why am I proving your premeditated charge?
Yeah, really.
Why are you speaking in a southern accent?
Well, what is it you prefer? Do you prefer my edgy accent or my southern accent?
I prefer your normal voice.
Oh, you're not getting that here.
I forgot if this was a wasn't this the newspaper? What's a newspaper again?
But this is about Adrian.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's...
Wait a minute. Remember the Jammer Ninja was supposed to reveal something. Where's the evidence for that?
Right here.
Yes.
Okay. I don't think that's it.
Oh.
No, it's not.
Naturally, you point to the one piece with the least value, but with such vigor.
Imagine I just showed the badge.
Enjoy your youth while you can. Humans don't live forever. Neither do lawyers.
Oh, so we're agreeing
You sure like
that
to think you can
lawyers are
bluff your way
different.
out of things, don't you? Gavel penalty die.
Phoenix, pay attention, because I clearly do. Let's pretend for a second that Mr. Ungard is the murderer. Now, from that angle, if he didn't have a murderous intent from the very beginning, then that means there is a certain object that shouldn't be at the crime scene, right?
How are you doing over there? Busy collecting your thoughts? He's so sassy, this case!
All right, one more try, and
you
with more spirit this time.
You can just tell that Edgeworth loves being back on that bench just to insult Ryden every single second that he physically can.
Yeah.
This knife, it was used by Mr. Ungard at dinner.
Yes, we did establish that.
Which means that if my client was in fact the killer, then he brought this knife with him when he went to visit Mr. Neutron.
I suppose.
However, you just said it yourself. At that time, the defendant held no intent to murder. If that were true... Excuse me. If that were true, then why would he bring a knife? He wouldn't, would he?
This is such a stupid argument by Phoenix, by the way.
Honestly, yeah.
Why am I helping you? I want a fair duel, Edgeworth, and I think you could do with a handicap if you wish to best me. Your theory was flawed from supposition 1, Edgeworth. And one more thing. If the murderer was wearing the costume at the time of the murder, then there should be glove marks left on the knife. Which means the defendant's fingerprints shouldn't be all over it like bees on a hive. And that brings me to my final point. This knife was planted by the real killer to hide their identity and mislead us.
There it is. There, you had to get that in or something. Order! Order, I say! Order in the court!
He had to get that in, otherwise it looks like he's just proving his client guilty.
Was this knife really planted by the killer? Why would the murderer do such a thing?
To frame Matt Ungard. It's to frame my client, Mr. Ungard, of course.
Frame.
Objection! Aren't you forcing the interpretation just a little too hard on this one?
Objection! Aren't you enforcing yours just a little bit too little, Miles? Oh, well, we just established that. Oh, I didn't read that part.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that was gonna be your line.
No, I was just ad-libbing that one in before I read
Oh,
it.
my bad.
Just give it like a second or two before you continue, just in case I want to read it.
Okay.
Thank you, buddy. Well then, if whatever I said were true, then there shouldn't be a single fingerprint on this knife.
Witness!
Just a dead cold stare.
Oh, what a
The
dead
1,000
man.
yards. That's the 1,000-yard stare.
Casually holding a gun in her hand as well.
No, you know what would have made Wendy Olbach such an interesting character at this point?
It
What?
wasn't
like-
stupid.
No. How's it feel now, Edgy Poo? Have you broke my heart after a year or something?
Oh.
That would have
What a
been so
toxic
interesting.
woman.
God, I hate you now, Wedgeworth. I just came here to ruin your case.
Bye.
I came here to break you down mentally and spiritually.
This fucking made your life a tiny bit more difficult, huh, Edgy Poo?
Witness, did you or did you not really see the Nickel Samurai?
Well, I guess at first I might have forgotten, but...
Are you saying you mixed up Ungod with the Nickel Samurai, his character on TV?
But I mean, I can't really do anything about that now! Look, I was waiting around in front of the doors because, well, I wasn't waiting around for the Nickel Samurai, that's for sure.
Here we go. She wasn't waiting for the Nickel Samurai. Alright then. Who were you waiting around for then?
This is a stupid question.
That's top secret to anyone outside of security.
I have a feeling that you were waiting for Mr. Jimmy Neutron. Am I correct, Witness?
I like to imagine every time the text says Juan Corrida, his honor just pauses. He's like about to say corpse, like
Oh
Jimmy
no, that's
Neutron.
totally me. I about said Juan Corrida, but I'm like, oh no, it's Jimmy Neutron. Hold on here.
Jimmy Neutron.
The way you think, you are a sad amateur with a terrible case of nearsightedness.
Says you.
Amateur? Me? What am I an amateur of?
Oldbag was waiting around in front of the victim's room, but it doesn't sound like she was waiting to catch a glimpse of Mr. Corrida. Neutron.
Oh!
Oh, he got him now. He slipped.
Maybe. Phoenix. Maybe the old bag was waiting around for that person.
If it's who I think Mia's hinting at, certainly possible.
I know, it's crazy. She's waiting for a person, and it's that specific person that I will not tell you.
Oldbag. You were waiting for this person to come out of the victim's room, weren't you?
It's Andrews, right? There's no one else.
Who is this person?
This is Adrian Andrews, Ungard's manager.
But why would the defendant's manager be in the victim's room?
It seems that this is the latest rumor in circulation, Your Honor.
Oh, this is... Well, this is... Ha! I see.
The judge seems to be really into the gossip, if it can be called such a thing. Oh, it is gossip.
Then this manager with the initials AA, are you saying it's...
Adrian Andrews. Without a doubt, the witness thought so as well.
I thought it was meant for Anthony Armstrong, but whatever.
Looks like you found me out. Well, that's fine. I can throw away this whole sworn to confidentiality crap then.
Witness, what in the world are you...
Watch out, Phoenix. I've got a bad feeling about this. A very bad feeling. It's called an old bag, and it's about to happen.
I got some information. Some very secret information from a certain source. So that's why I was doing my own little investigation. In secret, of course.
But what for?
Oh, just for myself. Personal reasons and all that.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, how will you proceed from here?
I really don't want to do this. However, I simply cannot let this point slide.
I see. Very well then, witness, please testify about this secret information.
Get ready! This is gonna take the wind out of you youngins!
I'm sure we're all capable of handling this. Really, it's not like we're 10 years old.
Secret information.
Meganaunt God is one evil, evil man! He thought he could ruin poor Jimbo by causing a huge scandal! So to do that, he set his own magic to getting close with Jimbo. I cannot condone such dirty tricks, so I took action.
But this is top secret, you got that? Nobody else but you and me know yet, okay?
What? Oh. The defendant said his manager. What a distasteful topic for this court.
What? Nobody's above gossip!
I am.
And ain't there a saying, the truth is never pleasant?
No, it's the truth isn't sweet.
Never heard that one before.
Wait.
I love that thing so much. It's such a cool theme.
Sorry. Mr. Edgeworth. What about this Adrian Andrews person?
We have looked into this matter and found that the truth the article proposes is in fact baseless gossip.
What should this be true? And this proves that the defendant did bear ill will towards the victim.
So this means I have to smash this little rumor once and for all.
Now then, Mr. Wright, you may examine this sad, pathetic woman.
Be careful. Like, on all fronts, I guess, but the old bag seems really rather excited right now, and it's very unfortunate.
Someone's just playing this song in the background.
What?
I mean, if you're just gonna call me out like that, I suppose the stream should hear it too.
That's right! Our God is nothing but your average foul-blooded youth!
Old bag, you interrupted my jams. Come on now. Oh, as the old saying goes, you've got to... If you want to kill an old bag, kill it with fire.
Arson?
I call arson a career. Time to fire up the afterburners and hit the highway to the danger zone. Full stop. Blast the music.
To the danger zone!
Copyright!
I don't care. It's technically a parody.
Yeah, it's him singing it.
One evil man thought he could ruin poor Juan by causing that sense. I was like, okay,
this one. This
we
sounds
know
useless.
why, and
This one
we
sounds
know
useless.
why.
Let's press it.
That is not what I meant to click. Cool, sounds like just another tidbit gossip, doesn't it? But you can either ignore it. You know, yeah, you can ignore it. Honestly, we can ignore this. Who cares? Why are we humoring everyone? Who cares? Like, seriously.
You're a lawyer. Sadly, you have to humor everything.
Hold it. Old bag, tell me, why do I care about you and your story?
You're a dim-witted one, aren't you? I can't believe you don't know what a scandal is!
Yep, about
Honestly, what are they teaching kids in middle school these days?
No, I wasn't asking what the word scandal means. I was asking, why am I humoring you?
Well, Meganaunt thought he could own a monopoly on popularity!
Okay.
Okay. Sure. I'm just pressing.
You don't have any proof that Ungod did any such thing.
You must be suffering from shock. The shock of hearing the truth. And now since you're in so much shock, you can't do anything right!
You're right. I can't do anything. But boy, do I wish I could do something about you. Do the world a favor.
Alright then, Sonny, show me what you got!
Oh.
Can you show me proof that On-Guard didn't bear any ill will towards Jimbo?
No. I really can't. There really isn't proof for that, 9. I remember playing this case, I fell into this pitfall.
But there isn't proof that they do have bad blood.
I don't have anything to offer.
See? Just as I thought! And you were lecturing me about saying things without proof! You're just giving me a free pass to say whatever I want, whatever I want, silly boy!
In my big mouth.
That's the way the cookie crumbles, for you anyway!
So what do you mean by I took action?
I killed him!
Like I already told you, I was lying in wait close to the crime scene. Once that slimy woman came out of Jimbo's room, I was going to capture her and teach her a good lesson, something you youngins need.
Slimy. You.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
I was gonna make her eat the damaging bits of my ray gun!
No! Stop!
Well, it was too bad that woman didn't come through the door that night.
You're saying you would have killed her?
I mean, she did admit that, Your Honor.
An alternate timeline. Old Bag killed her.
This one looks useless. Let's press it. Hold it! Wait!
What? I'm a busy woman. Tea time with the kids is over.
Secret information that no one else knows yet. If that's true, then how do you know this secret information?
Well, that's because I'm a pro. Yeah, that's it. It's a secret. Even if you drill a hole into my brain, you'll never find out.
How in the world did that old bag get such a secret piece of information?
And the evidence.
Oh, we got evidence.
Wait, do we?
Yeah. So no one else is supposed to know this secret information, correct? If that's true, then why do you know it, Miss Old Bag?
Ooh.
Why are you looking at me like that? Stop it!
Witness! I hate to say it, but this is how you came to acquire your secret info, isn't it?
The camera, right?
Yeah, remember what went
Oh,
missing?
it was stolen! Oh, of course! I forgot she stole her camera.
I like how the mouth were like, oh!
The investigative photographer, Hart.
Oh, yes, I remember that. Who is that?
Mischievous.
No, you should have let me finish my sentence. I was trying to make a joke.
Oh.
She reported that she had lost a certain note she had written to herself.
99 times out of 100, I hear people say that is mischievous, so...
She reported such a thing?
This random girl reported something? I don't know who this is.
On that piece of paper, she had written down some of her outright... her impressions about the relationship between the victim and Miss Andrews.
What outrageous ideas you say?
No, I said impressions.
A weird pursuit.
Then everything written on this piece of paper is completely meaningless?
Ah! So you've shown your true trump card all along.
No! You see, this is something completely different. This is my top secret list of motion supply!
And you are the one who took Miss Hart's note, thief.
I'm a huge fan of Jimbo's, that's why! That infamous puffy-haired whippersnapper! She's working with that evil one guard! She said so herself! On guard, I'm his sidekick! She was so happy, smiling like a silly duck! I was only checking what she had written! Hachibo! You believe me, don't you? I was only trying to help out at the edge I am! That's only one little piece of paper! I've never taken anything else before! You really should come with a supply of cheese about your bitch's wine!
Oh. Well, it was only a piece of paper. Suppose we should overlook this just once, I guess.
She looks like she's truly sorry.
No, pile on more pressure! Get on her! Make her suffer!
On guard, you old bat. If I let up now, then I'll be sowing weakness in this courtroom, and I can't have that.
I'm not weak.
I'll find a way to inflict a deafening blow to the prosecution. Witness! You said that the only thing you stole was that note. Is that correct?
Stole? Why don't you listen more carefully, you annoying brat? I saved this piece of paper from the terrible, lonely trash can, that's all!
You're lying, damn it! And I can prove it.
Favorite line in this game.
Are you putting my credibility under scrutiny again?
Old bag! I don't believe that the note is the only thing you stole that night.
You stole an entire guitar.
Nah, this is the camera again. I guess the last one you could have either presented the camera or wait, what was it? The camera? I thought it's a note in your
About the victim. What is it? What is the other one? The newspaper just next to it.
The gossip, but that was.
I thought
the
note was in. Yeah, I thought the note was in the court record. Guess not.
Yeah, tabloid article was in the victim, about the victim was in the case. So that's the tabloid article. And also,
okay,
the camera stolen.
Old bag. That note was with a camera inside its case, wasn't it?
A camera?
Yesterday, Hart was raging a huge stink over her camera.
Bret Hart?
She kept saying something such as, "My sweetie 1600 camera disappeared on me."
Why? Witness! Are you a thief?
What is it, Gramps?
If you have the note, then it's only logical that you have the camera too.
Looks like you found me out again, Sonny. Is this the camera you're looking for?
It's my camera, give it back! I swear I'm gonna murder you, I'm gonna snap your neck, you little old woman, I don't care!
Felix, get her out of here!
I'll get the shit for this, I don't care, give me my camera back!
Get her out of this courtroom!
You know.
I still emails like you. I fall in love and borrow things from people.
I think your definition of borrow is a little off.
I saw that woman's business card, and that's when I noticed it said, "Slime bag, celebrity photographer extraordinaire."
I don't think that's exactly what was on that card.
Photographer extraordinaire to you, stupid.
Bailiff, do your job. Get her out of here.
Well, when I saw that, I had to know what sort of picture she had taken. I'm a professional security guard. It's my business and all these things.
I can imagine that now in like the lobby. There's like this big, powerful battle between the bailiff and Lotta Hart.
Out of here. Check the camera's photos. Hurry. We must examine them at once.
I swear, if any of you touch that camera.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what do we have?
Ah!
There's only... There's only one photo that seems to be relevant to this case.
Please present it to the court.
I cannot let you escape, Lotta Hart. I'm adding another demon court to your confinement until you calm down.
This is a nickel samurai.
See, I told you! That's the guy I saw!
This proves that the witness was not lying earlier about this matter.
Lada's photo added to the court record.
What does all this mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
This photo by itself does not prove that the person in it is the defendant. However, in his own confession, Mr. On Guard clearly states that at the time of the murder, he was still in his nickel samurai costume.
If that is the case, then the nickel samurai is...
The defendant.
How did it come to this? I think this brings us to the end. We have examined every piece of evidence thoroughly. Final comments, Mr. Wright. The court will consider them before we close. Do you agree to this photo as decisive evidence against your client?
You know what they say. The truth just ain't sweet. If I raise an objection here and blow it, then I would put Maya's life in jeopardy. I can't make a mistake like that here. There's only one road out of this mess. This photo that Hart took, there is something strange with it. There is something strange with this photo, Your Honor.
I knew this was coming, Mr. Wright.
Your thoughts, Mr. Edgeworth?
I think we can all agree there is nothing strange with this photo. There is no way for the defense to debunk this photo, even with a bunker buster.
Debunk it with a bunker buster? Is that what you're planning to do, Mr. Wright?
I wouldn't quite word it like that. I was thinking of something a bit more powerful. Let us look at the photo one more time.
You really believe you can honestly find something wrong with this photo? Then you should only need one chance, correct? Why are you saving? You're confident, are you not?
Crystal confident.
As he sweats bullets.
I am so confident that I can blast this bunker right open with something.
Why are you sweating then, Mr. Wright?
It's a little bit hot in here, is it not?
It is. Bailiff, turn up the AC. It's 95 outside.
We came inside to escape, Bailiff, not sweat to death in here.
Come on, Bailiff, do your job already.
Where in the heck did she
Everyone's just
take this
harassing
photo
the
from?
bailiff.
And he's already doing a battle with Lada.
The bailiff's just like, 1 second, sir.
I don't get paid enough for this.
This Texan's really crazy.
Give me back my camera and photos!
Ma'am, please, just sit down.
Get her out of here!
I'm trying.
Taser if you have to.
She took it.
What?
She threw it over. She said, I don't need this to kick your butt.
And you don't need it for me to kick yours.
Your Honor, requesting backup.
Oh, he'll live.
Nah, he's fine. It's all out of focus. Why can't she just for once in her life take a good shot?
Now then, let's hear your objection. What about this photo is strange?
God, there's the second unlimited penalty.
They're really having fun with the new gauge, huh?
They really just said, yes, let us play with them a little bit. Let's give them heart attacks.
Was it actually an unlimited in the original?
Yes.
Wow. I honestly don't remember what exactly was. I mean, that mountain on the bottom of his pants looks a bit out there.
I don't think they ever do an unlimited again after 3.5.
They kind of do 1 and 4.
That's an 80%. In other words, if you do one mistake, then it's unlimited. But if you're full health, then you get 2 chances.
That's why I said they kind of did it. I would like to direct the court's attention to this one area right here.
What are you pointing to? His ankles?
If you could see this person's ankles, that would be one thing. However, you can't.
And so, your point?
The costumed person in this photo could not have been Mr. Ungod.
What is the meaning of this?
Objection! I wonder if you would care to elaborate with actual facts, that is.
Well, let's take a look at the Nickel Samurai's poster then, Edgeworth. Please pay particular attention to the area around the bottom of the Hakama.
His socks. You can see his socks.
Exactly. However, in this photo, the Nickel Samurai is clearly holding his Hakama up just to walk. There's only one explanation for this. The person inside this costume is clearly much shorter than the defendant.
I can't believe the killer's shorter than On Guard.
Alright, I do believe I've turned things around for myself this time.
That's curious.
What is?
Edgeworth is unusually calm. Like, really calm. Out of character calm.
True.
He's just letting the trial run itself. As if he's only along for the ride.
Along for the ride? What do you suppose he's doing?
I can only guess that perhaps he doesn't feel under attack at all.
Doesn't feel under attack? Then perhaps I was just too gentle in my attack then.
I don't think that.
Mr. Edgeworth, where does this leave us? God, he's so cool.
Edgeworth? Pff, I don't know.
If the person in this photo is not Matt on guard, then everything the prosecution has tried to prove has become meaningless.
I figured it would come to this.
God, he's so cool.
You're lying. You're bluffing.
Right. I have something I want to ask you. I think you have proven that this person inside the costume is not Matt on guard. In that case, who is this a photo of?
Who is the person wearing the Nickel Samurai costume?
Pretty sure we all know this one.
Oh, don't stress out over this, Phoenix. It's very simple. What you should be focused on is Edgeworth's attitude, don't you think?
Yeah. He's very calm considering our duel.
That's alright, let's hear your thoughts. Who is the person in this photograph? Well, I think it's quite obvious who the person in this photograph is.
Of course.
Franziska von Karma.
Wonder why she was shot. No, it's obviously Pearl.
No, you fool. She's 8.
Yeah.
So? And
Old
that's
enough
an
to kill.
illusion. She can spirit channel.
She's currently spirit channeling right now.
Yeah, she can just
She's right
change her
next
size.
to you.
Oh, I almost just clicked on Maya and
I
confirmed
quite
it.
honestly almost forgot that Pearl was the one channeling Mia. And, you know, honestly, I'm shocked to this day that that's actually just possible in this world. But you know, it's Ace Attorney, so nothing makes sense ever. Adrian Andrews?
If you want to know who that Nickel Samurai is, it is none other than this woman.
And why would you say it must be Mrs. Andrews? What in the world points you to her?
For starters, short.
Short.
Just starts pointing at her in the gallery.
Short.
Midget. Secondly, she can move freely in and out of Mr. Ungod's room.
Hi, Lozzu.
Finally, she had dinner with Ungod that night.
How does this all add up?
It means that it makes it very easy for her to get a certain item. A certain knife with Ungod's fingerprints all over it.
A knife that was used as a murder weapon.
Why don't you just say what it is you want, right?
I suppose then I must do this now. This is my last chance to turn things around. The defense moves to indict Adrian Andrews in the murder of Jimmy Neutron. It was Andrews who tried to frame the defendant for the crime.
Order! Order! Shut up! It looks like this trial has hit a most unexpected development. Mr. Edgeworth,
Yes, Your Honor.
this court is issuing a subpoena for Miss Adrian Andrews. A verdict cannot be passed without first hearing her testimony.
Alright, this is it.
This is kind of bad for us.
What do you mean by that?
Adrian Andrews is summoned to court as a witness. It means that the trial will go on for another day.
Another day?
Yep.
If I don't get a verdict today, then...
Now then, we shall set Miss Andrews' testimony for tomorrow.
I can't let it go. I need to object.
And now then,
Objection! Your Honor, please. Continue the trial. You must pass a verdict today.
I can't do that. We cannot hear Miss Andrews' testimony if we do not.
Hold it! I abhor wasting such valuable time.
Edgeworth.
Your Honor, I request that you please continue with today's trial.
But we cannot continue due to this unexpected development.
Unexpected development. I think you underestimate me, Your Honor.
What do you mean by that?
That Mr. Phoenix Wright would slave his way to subpoenaing Miss Adrian Andrews. It's all happening according to plan, even if Wright was a bit slow to catch on.
What? My vocal cords are really damaged from voicing Gumshoe earlier, so I'll do my best, but... What?
Beautiful.
Not surprised whatsoever.
I don't know how
What is the
Mega
meaning
does
of your statement, Mr. Edgeworth?
Mega's like really good at just not having his voice be destroyed.
Miss Adrian Andrews is currently waiting in the prosecution's lobby. She is the next witness.
Everything was planned out in advance by that man.
Somehow, I knew there was no way Edgeworth would overlook Miss Andrews. I don't know why you're surprised, Phoenix. Looks like this battle is far from over.
Exactly.
Very well. I'm very tired, but we will call the next witness. However, before we proceed, we shall take a 40. We're taking a 40-minute recess. I need to take a nap. Please prepare your next witness in that time, Mr. Edgeworth. You have 40 minutes. You have no excuse. The court will now take a 40-minute recess.
All right, we're taking a 40-minute recess.
See you next Saturday.
We're still going.
See you next Sunday.
See y'all next Saturday. 40 minutes later. Hi guys, welcome. It's Saturday once again.
No. There's about 20 minutes left.
Wait, how long for this?
40.
TV.
The TV. Come on.
Yeah, I had to think like, what was that? Like, huh?
That's in Danny's background.
Oh,
It's people. It's
wait,
people talking
wait.
in the background.
Oh.
Hang on.
Uh-oh. Technical
Oh,
difficulties.
shoot. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 full testimonies.
Bro.
I don't have the. I was gonna say I was hoping you'd short. I'm starting to feel a little sick. Come in. Yeah.
I actually forgot to take my meds today, so I have a fucking friggin' thing. Yeah, sorry. I have a splitting headache, and yeah.
You guys wanna stop for today then?
Yeah.
Sure.
That'd be extremely nice.
Okay. Yeah, we got to the checkpoint. It's okay then. I thought it was gonna be like, oh yeah, it's gonna be like a quick short trial. It's like Adrian Andrews.
I forgot how long this case is, honestly.
Well, unfortunately, we couldn't speed run the hostage trial. We'll do it next time. We'll get him next time.
We're doing it next Friday or sometime this weekend.
Do you guys want? Well,
I'd be okay doing it like Sunday.
I'm okay with Sunday.
I'm fine with Sunday. I don't have work Monday.
I'm just thinking a little bit because this upcoming week is like the last week for the fundraiser. Honestly, I don't really have much for Sunday, so we could just do it Sunday. It's all right.
All right, we'll do it Sunday.
I'll just do what I thought to do on Sunday. That's okay. And fun fact, do I know what I'm doing on Monday? No. I still know. I know I have to do something though.
That's the fun of it.
Exactly. The fun. Funnies. So yeah, anyways, thank you guys. Next stream will be then this Sunday at 7 p.m. EST. We'll continue good old Ace Attorney and hopefully we'll complete trial 1. So yeah.
Alrighty.
Anyone got anything to say?
We'll be done with this case in about 3 months.
Woo!
You voiced Slaughter Hard as a joke for 5 minutes and she's already creeping into your normal voice.
I mean, I can't just naturally do Southern, like, very surprisingly. I don't know why. I just do that, and then British, of course, and then it's just, like, that's how it works. Wait, what if I just I mix British and then Southern as well? Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
That is not an accent.
It's just not an accent, but I still don't like it. I just don't like that at all.
Wait, you're trying to mix Southern Texan slang with proper British etiquette.
Correct.
Which is very...
Well, it's very simple. You speak very improper British etiquette, and you sound exactly like a jerk trying to impersonate the British language.
Well, sorry for that. Excuse me while I go back to the wonderful tea and crumpets accent that you all know and love.
Okay, wait, hang on.
Also in the form of
I'll give it a shot.
I'll give
it a shot.
All right.
So, right now, I'm speaking my very impolite Southern accent. Now, I am just going to say, oh, I'm sorry, you want me to speak in the language of you Brits? Oh, all right, I'll do my best. Let me mosey on over. I do believe, sir, I am speaking the language that you Brits do oh so adore. Shall I join you for a tea-sipping ceremony? Yeah, see. Oh, I'm sorry, did my dulcet tones, did my accent, and my particular choice of articulation seep through the cracks there? Did I drop the Oh, I'm sorry. I've just offended several countries just now.
And we'll end it at that.
Not gonna lie, that's a pretty great accent.
Thank you.
Well, I try my very best, so later everybody. Bye.
Bye.